What's up, ladies and gents? This is KSigKid coming at you with another Destiny video. Now we're getting it. Now we're getting into the Rise of Iron hype. What we're going to do is we're going to go over all of the ornaments that you can actually check out in the game right now. All of the exotic weapon ornaments, and they look pretty slick. So even if you happen to see the images of it, I strongly recommend at least even going into your game, going over to the kiosk and checking them out, because there's a big difference from seeing them live as opposed to seeing a static image. It might even look different in your game as opposed to seeing it in this YouTube video. So I strongly recommend going in and checking them out yourself, because some of them look absolutely amazing. I love it. I can't wait until they come out with the Rise of Iron. So let's check things out, and what we're going to do is we're just going to work across our way down the blueprint section, starting off with the primaries and starting off with the Xalo Supercell, which has one of my favorites. So I actually like the Xalo Supercell overall. This is one of my favorite new guns that's in the game, though I didn't ever really enjoy the look of it. That basic color scheme is just kind of meh, it's a little bit boring, it doesn't really tell a full story. Let's start off with the first ornament, Not a Toy. Now this is not the one that's my favorite. I feel like people that play COD, they might enjoy this one a little bit. For me, it's just a little bit too crazy. There's colors going all over the place. This one doesn't exactly do it for me. This isn't the one that I like. I actually like this second one, Shock Hazard. And holy crap, that looks amazing. That color scheme, that navy blue and that white, I really like that, along with some of the different decals that we end up... Okay, apparently the preview goes off on its own a little bit. But wow, yeah, that looks amazing. That's absolutely amazing. In fact, why isn't that the way that the Xalo looked from the beginning? Why didn't it just look like this, like that Shock Hazard ornament? I really dig that. We're gonna have to watch out with these previews. They are a little bit unruly. But that Shock Hazard looks amazing. And let's move on to the second weapon, which might have the best looking one in the game. We're going to start off, the Monte Carlo has this etching over here and on the blade, but you don't really get to notice it a lot in its standard look. But whenever we put on Super Spy, you can see that it is a little bit darker and the etching and engravings come out a little bit more. And that's pretty sharp, that's pretty slick. Red and black, it always looks good together. But this one, Royal Flush, holy crap. This might be the best looking gun that we have in the game right now. I love it. This is absolute perfection. In fact, I'm probably going to use the Monte Carlo more if I happen to get this, just so that I can go ahead and look down the sights and look at this gun and know that this is what I'm shooting off. Royal Flush looks amazing. Easily my favorite of all of the ornaments. It's absolutely amazing. Next up, we're going to move on to the HAWKMOON, and everybody's pretty much seen these HAWKMOON ones, but we're still going to show them off. Starting off, we have Carry On, and this is the one that actually has the blood splatter all over the front. This HAWKMOON has seen a little bit of action. And actually, look, it does... Oh, jeez. It actually has some engravings on the barrel. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty interesting. Something you probably didn't get to see from the static images. And it looks like the handle's actually wood-laden. So that's pretty cool. This one's pretty slick, but the second one's pretty cool as well. The HAWKMOON looks good just as it is, but this second one, Moonglow, if the reports are true that whenever you have a luck in the chamber shot firing, those gold feathers are going to light up, that would be pretty amazing. And I like this handle as well. The ivory along with the spade on the handle. We're just going to keep hitting preview. Every time it tries to take off our preview, we're just going to keep hitting it. I don't exactly know why it's stopping, but it's messing up. We're trying to look at the HAWKMOON. We're trying to look at the coolness of these ornaments. Destiny, quit fighting me. Quit fighting me, Destiny. And finally, for our primary weapons, the last thing we have is the MIDA multi-tool. And for starters, it's a little bit brown, it's got a little bit of camo going on with it. And Spec Ops, Special Ops, this one is slick. This one is really slick. Whenever you put it on, you can see that you actually gain these extra sights that are on the gun. I don't imagine that they'll be functional at all, but they're just cool to be there. And then this textured metal that's up at the top, I really like it. I really like the look of this. This absolutely looks like it could belong in another game. Really cool. But Arctic Survivalist is pretty sweet as well, especially if you imagine yourself as somebody that's doing battle in the wintertime and in the snow, which we're going to be doing in the Rise of Iron anyway. So Arctic Survivalist, if it'll ever come back on, yeah, that does look pretty slick. Both of these MIDA multi-tool options look pretty awesome. Which one is the better one though? I don't know. I kind of like Spec Ops. I really do like Spec Ops, but both of them look sharp. I don't think you can go wrong either way, and MIDA is a really popular gun with a lot of people, so I think that's going to make a lot of people happy. Moving on to our special weapons, we're going to start off with the weapon of this week, and that's the Telesto. Now, Telesto looks really good from the beginning. That white and purple looks really nice, and with Queen's Command, they doubled down on the purple. You've got purple and black. That's a good color scheme. That is definitely a good color scheme. Pretty slick, though it's really tough to argue with that initial one, because that initial color scheme was just so good. Moving on to our second one, Lingering Vestige. This is one of those ones that you can't gain an appreciation for by seeing a static image, because you won't notice all of that floating looking type of camouflage material, that ethereal material going through the gun, and clearly we can't even keep a preview up to see the whole thing, but it looks pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. I don't exactly know how the blue fits in with the purple though, because we're still going to be firing off those purple orbs and exploding purple orbs of death, but it's pretty cool to have an animated texture on it. Moving on to the Invective. Invective's a sharp looking gun. A lot of people don't see Invective normally, but it's pretty much a classic looking gun, but with Storm's Reproach, wow, you look like you're firing off rocks of hot magma. Pretty cool. If we could keep this preview up for any extended amount of time, that's pretty cool. Oh my goodness. Well, you get the gist of it. Moving on to Iconoclast, we trade in our black for red, and I don't know how much I dig it. I do like the wraps on it, but this one feels just a little bit bland, even with the wraps all around it. It feels just a little bit bland for some reason. So I think if I'm going to pick one, it's going to be the Storm's Reproach over the Iconoclast one. And again, that classic black look that we have to begin with, that's pretty amazing. So Invective is so-so. I'm not fully sold on the Invective. Finally, though, we're going to move on down to our heavy for the Truth. And the Truth has two really cool ones. One that's just a little bit sneaky too. So this is the Truth normally, and with Heart of Gold, you can only imagine, there it is, all gold. Oh god. Destiny, why do you fight? Alright, you're gonna have to look at the preview right here, because eventually, clearly it just doesn't want to show up. It's too gold, it's just too rich for all of our blood. We're clearly not worthy to see it in gold, trust me. Go into your kiosk, you might have better luck at looking at this thing in gold than I am in showing it off, but it looks pretty cool. Prototype is the one that's pretty interesting. So whenever you put it on, Prototype looks kind of boring. Oh my goodness. It looks kind of boring. But if you happen to be able to look a little bit closer, you can see that what it is basically the blueprints of the Truth on top of the Truth. And I think that's just a fascinating thing. Like, you can look at numbers and you can look at the lines and arrows, and they're telling the dimensions of how far this barrel should be, how far away these rivets and screws should be on the gun. I think it's just a really cool idea. Basically, you're putting the blueprint of the Truth on top of the Truth. Pretty cool idea. A pretty cool idea. So there are some that are really amazing in this so far. I'm really digging the one Zalo. I'm really digging the Gold Truth. And of course, that Monte Carlo. That Monte Carlo is absolutely amazing. If you get a Monte Carlo with Royal Flush, you are going to be a rock star in the Crucible, in PvE, in the raid, wherever it may be. You're not going to have to worry about these preview buttons at all, because you're going to have it on automatically. Yet forget the preview buttons. Forget the preview buttons. All we want to do is show off the awesome and amazing ornaments, and they're fighting me. They're fighting me, but you get the gist of it. You get the gist of it. Go into your kiosk, check these things out. They're really fun. They're really cool things to be striving for. I don't know if we're going to see more as Rise of Iron goes on. I hope so. Anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, your ornaments, and I'll see you around in Destiny. All I wanted to do was show you off.